to take you down one of the deepest rabbit holes you'll ever go down, starting with Albert Pike. First of all, Albert Pike was a 33rd degree Freemason, the highest rank. He wasn't just a general or a writer, he was a literal architect. An architect that built the moral software of their system. And when I say there, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Albert's script, which do keep in mind, this man was literally alive during the 1800s, okay? This is what he decided to write about. The What Plan for 3 World Wars, August 15th, 1871. First World War must be brought about in order to permit the what to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. Talking about 40 plus years before World War I. It says the divergences caused by the agents of the what between the British and Germanic empires will be used to foment this war. Look at how specific this is. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. War must be brought about so that what is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of what and where. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be then restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the what, once again, between the political Zionists and the leaders of Islamic world. And the war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. And everywhere, the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers or civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity. Those deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out into the public view. Please tell me how the fuck that is a coincidence. I guess Albert Pike just had a wild sense of imagination, right? I'm just saying, how much do you believe in time travel? You look into a series of books written by somebody named Ingersoll Lockwood. 2 of them that are just way too accurate. And so many names mentioned in these books are way too familiar. I am doing a full video on that tomorrow, actually. I'm collecting a whole bunch of different articles and information so everybody can easily understand. I'm just saying.
Shalom. First and foremost, son of all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakahak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Good Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect. And the 1/3 remnant out there listening and doing his word with all faith and sincerity, scattered amongst the nations in the 4 corners of the earth. To you I say shalom, Lord willing. This video is edifying. It's going to be centered around the topic of all works work toward prophecy and the fulfillment thereof. All right. So what this guy is bringing out is Albert Pike's pretty much pre-coordination of these 3 world wars, okay, and pretty detailed reasoning behind them, okay, and 2 of these wars have came to pass, and the 3rd one is we are in the midst of it, but it is not escalated to the point of where you could truly consider this a world's war, right? There's still a lot of players who are not openly playing, right? So, through proxy, yeah, we are in the 3rd World's War as we speak, but it hasn't been fully declared, okay? Because once this war is fully declared, it's going to move quick, right? There's still some prophecies that are to be fulfilled, regarding this man and his system being fully implemented in the earth. Okay, we have yet to see these things. So still some things to, you know, to take place. But nevertheless, this is definitely, we are on that path. Okay. And little does he know, right, is that this is all prophecy. Okay. The scriptures say two woes pass and the third woe cometh quickly, which is speaking on those or that third world's war. Okay, matter of fact, this is Revelations 8:13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices and the trumpets, and the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound, which is talking about, woe means destruction, right? And it's three of them, okay, which is prophetic in tone, because this is the third, or there's going to be 3 world wars. Okay, because if you look at it, after each world war, for one, there were significant losses of life. And after each war, okay, the first 2 world wars, things changed in the earth significantly. Okay, there were mass amounts of death, and the world in the large was destroyed. Okay, Europe was obliterated. Parts of Africa, okay, the Middle East, okay, certain parts of the world were, absolutely obliterated. Okay, but here in America, it was untouched. Okay, so a lot of Americans have pretty much a lack of respect for World War I and World War II, but World War III, America's going to be directly involved and will suffer the greatest consequence. Okay. So little does he know that this is all prophecy, and Albert Pike himself had no idea. Okay, that he was set up pretty much to, because they work through these secret, organizations. Okay, these occult practices, right? Ruling in the shadows, and they think that they are, of their own will, but they are at the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, right? This is Proverbs 16:4. Yahweh Bashim Shai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. That's right. Okay, because the wicked is put here on this earth, right? So self-proclaimed white man, he was put here to cause chaos, okay, to inflict harm on the children of Israel, to plunge the world and its population into desperate dystopian times, okay, and to usher in times on the earth in which has never been seen before. Okay, everything Esau Edom is doing is a fulfillment of prophecy, whether he know it or not. He think he's outsmarting the Lord, but he himself is in the trick bag. The more he continues to try to forward this agenda, the more prophecy continues to be unveiled and rolled out and come to pass. Okay, you could do nothing against the truth, but only for it, right? And he's going to find that out the hard way. Okay, because he believes truly that, He is the Most High. Very silly thought, but this is what this man truly believes. Okay, and it's necessary to try to perform something so sadistic and straight up just insane. Okay, you have to be coming from a place of true narcissism. Okay, he truly believes he's untouchable to be able to think he's going to get away with these things. All right, but that's how the Lord designed him to be. This is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. How can a man then understand his own way? Right, he can't. Right, no matter how independent he think he is, he's not. He's being controlled. Okay, just like prime example, he came up with the idea of the internet to, further push his propaganda, to, and trap and snare people in his technology. Okay, by means of being addicted to it. Okay, and persuaded by it. Okay, his miracles, not knowing that of this rollout of this, thing called the internet, the truth was going to be spread. Okay, that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans would begin to wake up into who they truly are. He had no idea that these things will happen. He can't account for that. Okay, hence the reason why he's moving in haste like he is, because he realizes that he has but a short time. Okay, and then you got people like this who stumble upon this information, which has been brought out by the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for years now, man. This piece of information in particular, I've seen being brought out at camp on Saturday, many years ago. But now, it's nuggets of information like this are becoming more viral, right? Because truth right now is at its premium. This is Ephesians 1 and 11, in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. Right. So all of this is out after the counsel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's will. Okay. According to the predestination of what? The elect. Right? All of this is serving the Lord's purpose. Everything. Okay, so little did Albert Pike know, or those Freemasons, these secret society, participants, the elite class, little did they know this was all going directly into the will of the Heavenly Father. And now that it's being revealed in the latter times, that panic is starting to set in. Okay, because we can link this directly with prophecy. Okay, and this is something that came out all the way out in the 1800s, right? When the knowledge of, or the interpretation of these prophecies were still sealed. Okay, so this goes to show you, man, this thing is deep. All right, so we're down to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rukakudashwa, Bob Ball, and DTA, DTN.